Hello and welcome. Today we're going to check out NightLab, created by Northwestern University. It's some digital interactive tools that you can use for your news website. There are 4 tools in NightLab, and we'll take a brief look at all 4 of them and see how we would embed them into our website. So to start out, all you have to do is go to nightlab.northwestern.edu. That's night like knight in shining armor, not night like nighttime. And it's just a regular website. There's no login or anything like that. And when you scroll down, once you're there, you'll see storytelling tools. And there are 4 of them: Juxtapose, SoundSite, Story Map, and Timeline. So let's start with Juxtapose. What Juxtapose allows you to do is to overlay one photo on top of another digitally, and then you can toggle between the two. It's really good for before and after types of photos, and that's actually what I'm going to show you right now with a little flash from Ross in Past, if you will. You need a URL for each photo, so the photo has to be on the internet somewhere. So here we're in the program, and this is an example that they give you here on Juxtapose. It's an overhead of before and after of a geographic location. Now if we scroll down, it gives you more examples here, and then it says create a juxtapose, and here's where you will put the 2 respective URLs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Flickr account. It works with Flickr, and I'm going to pick 2 photos, one of the formerly hirsute Mr. Rawson, and I'm going to get the URL here. This will only work, by the way, if these photos are public, which this is. So I'm going to take that URL, and I'm going to put that right here and paste it. And then I'm going to go to this other nice, clean-shaven, normal-looking Rawson, and I'm going to take that URL. And I'm going to put it in the other spot. And once you do that, you can put photo credits here if you want, and you can put labels and stuff. You can set right here where the toggle point is going to be. If you want, you can have one photo completely covered with the other photo, and so it'll be like a surprise what the other photo is. And when I hit preview, boom, there, it shows me the before and after. Which do you prefer? Oh, I kind of pine for these days. The wild days. So that's Juxtapose. And what you can do then is get the embed code, and you just take it and you embed it right into the site the same way that you would a video content or audio content or what have you. Okay, and next on our hit list is SoundSite. SoundSite is a cool little way to embed audio within the text of a story. As it says here, seamless inline audio. You can click on make a clip. All that does really though is zoom you down to the bottom where the magic happens. We'll scroll down there a little more slowly so that we can point out a few things here, like an example. Here this looks like a little review of the band Tame Impala, and here where it says thick one-note guitar riffs, well, it's embedded right there, so you can actually hear what it sounds like if you click on it. Pretty darn cool, huh? So to make our own, it's a little complicated, but like with any of these here, you just have to persevere a little bit and you can figure it out. What I'm going to do is, it's easiest to do from SoundCloud, so I'm just going to use one of our SoundCloud podcasts, just because it was there for no particular reason. It's going to have nothing to do with the story that I'm showing you how to embed it into, but that's okay. It's all about just seeing how to do it. So here I've clicked into this particular podcast. I'm going to click on share so I can get the URL to it, because that's what you need, the URL here. Now I'm going to take that URL, and I'm going to go down to where the magic happens here, and it says paste your audio URL. I'm going to paste her in there. I'm going to hit load. And boom, there she is. And what this allows you to do here is pick the part of this that you want to embed. it would be a little bit unwieldy to embed the entire 2.5 minutes of this podcast into there. That's really not what we're looking for. And we're assuming that you would probably be just embedding, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. Maybe a little longer. It depends on your purpose and what kind of a story it is. Here, just for our own amusement, I'm going to embed just like 10 seconds, the first 10 seconds of that podcast. There, I've set it to 10 second. Now what it does here is it gives you 2 embed codes. That's where this can get a little bit confusing. So it gives you one right here, and it says that this is the one that you have to paste at the top of your page. So I'm gonna click to copy that, and I have just a sample smoke signal article here. When you're embedding, this is an article that one of our writers was just kind of working on. Like I said, it has nothing to do with this particular embed, so it'll be a little weird in that respect. But if you click on text, you always have to be on text to embed stuff. When I was fooling around before, this is that same code. We do that like that. And then what we do is we pick the text that we want to embed the sound into. So I'm going to embed it into this sentence. I'm copying that. I'm going back to SoundSite. That's what you put here for linked text. I just pasted that sentence in there. I'm going to hit Create Clip. And now there it kind of shows you what it's going to look at. And there's the embed code. So now I'm going to take this code and I'm going to go back to right where I just was. And where that sentence was, I'm going to replace that sentence with that embed code. And now if everything goes well, when I preview this, I'm going to hit preview there. And it's being a little slow. I'm going to try it again. Preview. And there we go. Look at that. See? It embedded into that sentence.
This episode of Valley Chat has been brought to you by the Smoke Signal. Where there's smoke, there's fire. What up, juniors and seniors, softs and frosh, and welcome back to Valley Chat. We'll be continuing our trend of going around the world.
How about that, huh? Pretty darn cool. So now we can move on to the next one, which is StoryMap. The third of the 4 tools here at Night Lab. And this, I suppose, is similar in nature to Google Maps or something like that, where you're pinning things on a map and you can include video content, pictures, whatever you want, text certainly. So we'll go to make a story map here. And here's a few that I just started messing around with. I was messing around with this a little while ago, road trip, and just kind of throwing some random things in here from my road trip that I took a while back. Number of years ago, actually, now. So you start out by making kind of the title slide. I think all I did was add this picture of me with a peach in my mouth. And you can put a headline, Rawson's road trip. You can put a photo credit if you want. You can put a cut line if you want. Rawson hits the road for a week. The one thing I find a little bit annoying about the story map is that I find it takes a little while sometimes for whatever changes you're making to stick, so to speak. So sometimes you'll be like, oh man, where's that picture? It's still not there. It's still not there. It just takes it a while for you to be able to see it sometimes. So here you can add slides on the left here. You can go to Pittsburgh if you want. That's the next slide I had made. I'll go to this one here. You can upload an image. I'll choose file. Here's all these pictures from my trip of Pittsburgh and one. I'll just randomly pick that one. Open and upload. And there it is. Oh, that actually happened a lot quicker than it does sometimes. So you can add whatever you want here, and anytime you want, you can go to preview here, and it gives you kind of an idea of what it looks like. And I haven't really added any content yet or anything, so that's why it looks a little bit bare. You can hit save. The Rawson's Road Trip, that title slide. Whenever you're ready to embed, you can hit share. And you take this and you just put it right in the site like we were looking at before in the visual tab, and bingo bango, there it'll be. And we'll take a quick look now at the last program, which is called Timeline. As it says, easy to make, beautiful timelines. And this is sort of what they look like. You can kind of scroll around in time down here and it'll show you various things here, and you can see the timelines filled up. Again, like most of these programs, it's friendly with images and video pieces and things like that. There's all sorts of stuff that you can make and put in here. The one thing that feels a little bit funky about the timeline is that it has you create it. If you hit make a timeline here, it'll zoom you all the way to the bottom where the magic happens. And it'll have you create it in a Google spreadsheet, which feels a little strange. I'm going to hit get the spreadsheet template, and then it says make a copy, and it just feels a little bizarre. And here it is. This is where you do it. You'll see that you can make entry by entry here. You put the time span of whatever your particular event is. This one's from November 1st to December 15th in 2011. And this one's from November 16th to, well, also November 16th, just one day. And here's where you create a headline for that particular day. And then you can add text to each event. You can add media. Here you'll see a couple pictures from Flickr, and there's some video content from Vimeo. You can add photo credits or whatever. You can add cut lines, captions, whatever you want. When you're ready to publish it, and obviously you would have more than 2 events here, you go to File and then Publish to the Web, and you hit Publish, and you say yes, you're sure you want to publish it. Now, it used to have you copy and paste this, but it's told you in the instructions on that main page that we'll go back to in a second that recently they changed it and they want you to take this URL now once you publish it. We're just going to take that. Copy that, and this is where it wants you to paste it here in step 3. You can preview it there, and this is what it looks like. Those are the 2 Flickr pictures, and that was the Vimeo example. And, you and it previews it there too, and you take the embed code, like always, and you just paste it right in the visual part, in the text part of your website, and you're ready to rock and roll. So that'll do it. That's the Nightlab suite. And again, it's the kind of thing that you just mess around with it and you kind of figure it out. Sometimes there's a little bit of trial and error involved. No worries at all. Thank you for your time and have a lovely day.